to Maths Live. Here is your starter challenge. Revising yesterday and Tuesday, I'd like you to round this number 13,777 first of all to the nearest 10 and the nearest 100. I'll give you about 40 seconds, a minute, 40 seconds to have a go at that. Hope you're all alright. Okay, so it's the same number and we're doing two sets of rounding. When you're doing two different sets of rounding, just do them one at a time. So first of all, we're asked to round it to the nearest 10. So here's the tens digit. And remember, the digit to the right of it tells us what to do. So, remove the rest of the number, just focus on the digits we're looking at. So we're looking at 77. What is 77 to the nearest tens? Is it in the tens that it's currently in, which is the 70s, or does it go up to the 80s? Now 7, remember, if it's between 1 and 4, we round down or we stick. Or if it's 5 to 9, we round up. Now into the 7, that means we need to round up, so it doesn't become 77, it's 80, and then we put the rest of the number back in front of it. So 13,777 is the nearest 10, is 13,780. Now, nearest 100, focus on the hundreds digit and the digit next to it. Now this is a funny number because it's sevens again. So it's in the 700s currently, but we need to round up because the 7 tells us to round up. So what is 777 to the nearest 100? It's 800. And then we put digits before in that. So it's really, you have to be really, really careful that you don't go back, you don't round this number here and then focus on the one you've already done. Always go back to the original question, even if you're asked to round it more than once. You'll see that later on. Okay, so today we're rounding to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so if we're rounding to the nearest 1,000, all our answers need to have a multiple in 1,000. So for example, if we round a 4-digit number to 1,000, it's going to be a 1,000 digit. It could be 1,000, 5,000, 6,000. If we round a 5-digit number, it's going to be 16,000 or 15,000. It's not going to have any tens in it. It's not going to have any hundreds in it. So let me give you an example. 3,462. Okay. The 3 is the thousands digit, and the 4 tells us what to do. 4 tells us to stick or round down, so we stay in the thousands digits that we're in, which is 3,000. Okay, different number, 7,492. Actually, I'm going to change that because I just used the same one. So this is the thousands column. This is the hundreds. The hundreds tells what to do because it's the next digit to the right. 6 tells us to round up. So rather than staying in the 7,000s, we go up into the 8,000s. So 7,692 to the nearest 1,000 is 8,000. Can you see? It's not, there's no hundreds, there's no tens. We're looking to the nearest 1,000. What happens if the number is bigger than 4 digits? Remember, this week we're looking at place value in numbers up to 1,000,000. That's what you need to start knowing by the end of Key Stage 2. So what if the number is 28,493? Okay, let's find the thousands digit, just the 1000s, not the 10,000s. Here, so if, for example, if I put ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, even though this is technically part of the thousands too, we're only focusing on this thousands, the single thousands. If you were asked to round to the nearest 10,000, then you'd come into this column. So we're rounding to the nearest thousand. We're currently in the 8,000s, okay, and the digit next to it is a 4. That means that we have to stick or round down, okay. So 8,493 to the nearest thousand is 8,000. But don't forget your 10,000 in there. So 28,493 to the nearest thousand is 28,000. Another example. What if it was 133,972? Okay. We're in the 100,000s, 10,000s, thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. Right, let's find the thousands digits. Okay, here's the thousands digit. So this is either we're going to stick or we're going to round it up, depending on what's to the right of it. It is a 9. So if we look, we've got 3,972. The 9 tells us we need to round up to the next thousand. So rather than it being 3,000, we need to go to 4,000. And what are the digits in front of it? So 133,972 to the nearest thousand is 134,000. There's no hundreds, no tens, no ones after it. Show you one more. Now I know some of you might think, oh, can we do millions? But by Key Stage 2, you need to know up to a million. I'm going to do 2 more. I'm going to do 8,326. I know some of you are doing this while I'm watching along, so I'll put a couple up. Okay, so 4-digit number, nice and easy. Here's the thousands, and the digit to the right, which happens to be the hundreds in this, tells us what to do. So we're in the 8s, 3s tells us to stick or to round down. So 8,326 to the nearest thousand is 8,000. Now, 6-digit number. Here's the thousands. Okay, and the 8 tells us what to do. So 3,811, because it's an 8, we need to round up. So it's not 3,000, it's 4,000. Don't forget the digits that are in front of it. So 153,811 to the nearest thousand is 154,000. Remember, if you say any digits after that 4,000, you've made a mistake. But it's fine to make mistakes. Right, here are your 3 challenge questions that I posted this morning. So they're all to the nearest thousand apart from the last question. So question 1. We want 876 to the nearest thousand. Question 2. We want 4,531 to the nearest thousand. And question 3. We want 7,432 to the nearest 10, 100 and 1,000, so 3 lots. If you haven't already had a go at those, do it now. If you have already done it, check your answers. Check your answers, you don't want to make an easy mistake. Okay, let's have a look. Hi Alicia. Age 11, about to go into year 7. How exciting. You're just about to go into secondary school. Oh, I hope you have a lovely time. I hope it goes well. Hi Georgine and Zara. Oh, welcome back. I hope you're okay. Hello Iona. Iona in Tunbridge Wells. Hello. Hi Kane, hello Kane in Norwich. Hi Izzy and Rue, thank you for joining in. Okay, let's see if we can get some answers coming in. So we've got 876 to the nearest thousand, 4,531 to the nearest thousand, and then 7,432 to the nearest 10, 100 and 1,000. And by the way, with the first one, I did get a question from a parent asking if I'd written the correct number. And I said yes. Yes, you just have to be careful. Okay, give me 30 more seconds. Okay, let's have a look. So yeah, I did get a question from one parent just saying, hang on, if we round to the nearest thousand, is there a digit that might make a typo, a mistake? Because there's only a 3-digit number. No, it doesn't matter, okay? Even if it's a 3-digit number, right, you can put, right, here is our thousands, and there's no thousands there, okay? Writing that number is exactly the same. 0876 is exactly the same as 876, okay? It's just reminding ourselves that there's no thousands there. Now, if we look to the digit to the right, the 100, it's an 8. So we actually have to round up the thousands. We have to go up. So what's up from 0? It's 1. If you think of the number line, 876 is nearer to 1,000 than it is to 0. It's a lot closer. So 876 to the nearest 1,000 is 1,000. So it is a slight trick question, but it is possible to do. Okay. 4,531 to the nearest 1,000. Here's our thousands digit. The 5 next door tells us what to do. For 5 we need to round up, so it's 5,000. 5,000. And for the last question now, lots and lots of rounding for this one. We'll just do it one at a time. Don't be phased that you have to do 3 things. Just ignore each one and do one at a time. 7,432. First of all, to the nearest 10. Let's go right back to Tuesday. Here's the tens column, and the digit to the right tells us what to do. We're currently in the 30s. It's only a 2, so we stick. So to the nearest 10, that's 30, and then we keep it the rest the same. So 7,432 to the nearest 10 is 7,430. Right, to the nearest 100, here's the hundreds column. It's got a 4 in, and the 3 is next to it. The 3 tells us what to do. It's only 3, so that means we stick. So 432 to the nearest 100 is 400. I put the 7 in front. And then to the nearest 1,000, the 7 is the thousands. The 4 next to us tells us what to do. It's 4, that means it's less than 5, that means we need to stick. So it's 7,000. No rounding up needed for that last question. Okay? So as long as you break it down, doing one bit at a time, that's absolutely fine. Right, it's challenge time already. Okay. I'll start off just doing thousands, and then the last few I might combine all 3. So question 1, and it's all to the nearest 1,000. My pens have not lasted very long, have they? Let's have a look. To the nearest 1,000. So number 1, I'm going to do 8,672. Question 2, we do 17,432. 493. Question 3, we do 33,981. There are your 3 questions. I'd like them rounded to the nearest 1,000, please. Just need to get the whiteboard pens through till tomorrow, and then they can have a break. Okay, let's see if we can get some answers. Who knows the answer to question 1? What is 8,672 to the nearest 1,000? Right, I'll give you 20 seconds more for the 3 questions. Okay, let's have a look. So nearest 1,000. The first question is only in the thousands. Here's 8,000 here. The digit next to it is a 6. When it's a 6, we need to round up. So we're not sticking in the 8,000s, we're going up to the 9,000. So the answer to question 1 is 9,000. Question 2, we're into the 10,000s. So there's the 10,000s, there's the thousands. So we're currently in the 7,000s. The 4 next to it to the right tells us what to do. When it's a 4, that means we stick or we round down. So if we cover up, so that's 7,493. So we stick at 7,000. Don't forget your 1. So 17,000 is our answer. And the last one, again, going into the 10,000. Here's our 1,000 digit. Remember, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Now it's a 9 next to it this time. If it's a 9, we need to round up. So 3,981 to the nearest 1,000 is 4,000. And then don't forget the 3. So 33,981 to the nearest 1,000 is 34,000. Okay. Last 2 questions. Okay, question 1. And question 2 this time. Here's your number. 44,721 and 801,700 and I'm doing the same number, 99. Okay, I'd like to round each of those to the nearest 10, the nearest 100, and the nearest 1,000. So each of them is the nearest 10, 100, and 1,000. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes for that. There's technically 6 questions there. 2 questions with 3 parts. And this question is very similar to the challenge question I'm going to give you at the end of the lesson. Okay, just 10 more seconds. Don't worry if you haven't quite finished, you can carry on while I explain the first question. Or if you're catching up on YouTube, you have the luxury of pressing pause. So, question 1, 44,721. First of all, to the nearest 10. So let's find the tens column, which is here, it's the 2. So the 1 tells us tells us what to do. So it's 21, so we need to stick at 20, and then don't forget the rest of the numbers, 44,720. Now, same number to the nearest 100. Forget that number, come back to the original question. So to the nearest 100, we're currently in the 700s, and the 2 tells us what to do. It means stick. So 700, okay, and then 44,000 in front of that. And then to the nearest 1,000, okay, here's the thousands digit. The 7 tells us what to do. So it's 4,721. Now 7 tells us to round up. So it's not 4,000, it becomes 5,000. And then with the 4. So the answers to question 1 is 44,720, 44,700, and then 45,000. So it's only in the last part where a digit actually rounds up. And then the second one, 801,799. Okay, here's the tens digit. Okay, and this is the one that tells us what to do. Right, we're in the 9s. And then the digit next to us is telling us to round up. You're thinking, right, well, after 9 is 10. But how do I fit a 10 in there? And it's just like addition. If you need to add a 10 to this column, that means you add 1 to this column and then take this to 0. So what is 1 more than 799? It's 800. So because you're on a 9, but you need to budge up, you're actually budging up the next column. And remember, it's still got to be a multiple of 10, and the zeros, the 800, is a multiple of 10. And then put the rest of the number in front. So 801,799 to the nearest 10 is 801,800. What we're going to, right, so the next one, come back to here. This time we're looking at the 7s and the 9 tells us what to do. And I'm sure you've already spotted that it's exactly the same answer. Exactly the same answer. It's one of those few ones where you can get the same value to the nearest 10 and to the nearest 100. Same trick. Let's see what it is to the nearest 1,000. Now we know it can't be the same answer because in the nearest 1,000 we can't have any digits in the hundreds. Right, here's the original question. We have 1,000 currently, and it's the digit to the right that tells us what to do, and it's a 7. So 1,799 to the nearest 1,000, we have to round up. So we don't stay in the 1,000s, we go into 2,000. And what's the digit before it? 8. So 802,000 is our final answer. So we've got 801,799 to the nearest 10, 801,800, I know it sounds weird, and then the same for number 2, and then for the last one, because that's a 1 and a 7, that means we need to go to 2,000, so it's 802,000 rather than being in the 801,000. Whoop! I knew that was going to happen. Well done for today. You've actually now conquered rounding. Okay, I know it's the second time we've done it, but I think it was actually trickier than the first time we ever did it in Maths Live. So well done for having a go. Well done if you got them right. Well done if you've learned it for the first time. And tomorrow we're going to finish our place value topic by having a go at ordering numbers. And why you need to use place values for that is that you need to be able to compare the place values of the digits in order to know which order they go in first. It could be biggest to smallest, it could be smallest to biggest. That can be the hardest part sometimes. Try the challenge question that I'm going to put up in a minute or two, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.